that led to the opening in the Alliance on this final match of our TRU coverage day, getting the first try.
All right, we're waiting to see a number. Hey, that was number 12 from Alliance who scored the try. Cody Fry. All right, Cody, now we're going to take a look and see about this conversion attempt. So Alliance takes the first strike of the X, gets the ball down. All right, this is Brian Monks attempting the conversion.
So we'd like to welcome you all that just checked in with us after this try scored from Cody Fry. The Alliance have the 5-0 lead. And proud Papa over here sitting with a lot of nerves, seeing if Monks could convert this kick. It's a good kick.
And Dad's happy.
And it's good.
It's good. The conversion's good. So Alliance comes up with the first strike, 7-0 over HARC.
I guess we didn't laminate over that at the beginning of this contest. Larry Monks alongside myself, Justin Simmons. But Larry, actually the father of Brian, wearing the number 10 out there for the gray and black striped clad Alliance, who just converted that kick. Did you teach him that? That was a hard kick to convert.
You see, here's the deal. I don't know where I went wrong. I was always a forward. My son ended up being a scrum half and a fly half and a kicker. I messed up somewhere in life. But he combs his hair well as a back. All right, so here we go with HARC. And by the way, coming from Houston and having lots of friends from HARC as well, here's a good run.
Wow, this is a terrific run, but he was just upended with a crunching hit from HARC. And Alliance will have possession.
All right, getting the ball in the ruck. The ball in the ruck is the call, the penalty. And so we have Lum. No, Brian Monks is going to take the penalty kick.
Oh, and Monks, I could hear the audible gasp from him as it went off the side of his foot. It does go into touch, though, but doesn't get the distance that he was probably looking for.
I think he got about 3 meters on that.
It is a game of centimeters.
It is a game of centimeters.
I'm sorry, it really does go back
forward.
to that.
It did go forward. Okay, so now we have Blair McClure, the center ref, going back to watch.
Yeah, Alvarez will throw this in for the Alliance. And that slew of numbers is supposed to coordinate where this ball is going, and it worked out well for Alliance.
And Lum gets it out to Monks, the fly half, who's getting it out to number 5.
Smith.
But HARC is tough on the defense.
Yeah, HARC already giving up the opening try of this game, looking to try to settle back in and even up.
But I tell you what, if you take a look at the defense of HARC, I mean, they're staying flat, they're attacking, they're doing everything they're supposed to do, and they're holding them. And that means that it looks like for a little bit, HARC is going to have to be, Alliance is going to have to be moving that ball quickly. All right, we have a whistle. Penalty, Alliance. Let's see what the secondary call is. Offside. But, I have to give it to HARC because they are staying right at the hind part of the foot in the rucks, and they are ready to attack. And so their defense has been stout. They've been tough. They've been a red brick wall.
Yeah,
Okay.
They've been utilizing the aggressiveness to their advantage here, but it's all about the score line. They're behind, so they got to put something together on offense. I like this for Alliance. Talk about continuity. 3 guys in the lineup, all named Joshua, at the 3, 4, and 5. So they should have some great communication in that pack.
Josh. Hey, here we go now. Now, Alliance has had a good scrum. Let's see how they are here. They're holding them. 8-man pick.
Ooh, good fend. Nice tackle, though, to stay on it from Buchanan.
Well, right now, Alliance has been possessing the ball the majority of the game. Nice support play on the ruck. Lum getting the ball out to Monks. Coming right up with their number 12. Well, Cody Fry had a good run. The whistle was blown. Okay, so we're going to have a scrum here. Again, it's going to be Alliance's putting.
And that sun
That sun. Yeah.
It's not setting just yet, but it has changed the angle, so it should be right in the eyes of the Alliance players as they continue to head towards the direction of the goal line. It has gotten nicer throughout the day. It was really hot midday. Those games were brutal to have to play through.
And I tell you what, we have the breeze up right now, so I think these guys are probably thankful following the previous 2 games we've been here. Okay, hold on. The ball is out. Another 8-man pick.
Monks.
Go, Brad! Roll!
Brad back to Lum. Interception.
And plenty of room here. Finds the offload and protects the ball well, does Connor.
So that was John Paul Shin who intercepted.
Ready!
Going out to number 1, Gonzalez.
I was going to say, Bonnie's just strewn about right now.
All over the place. Look at this. And the ball was way back. The defense from Alliance forced them to chip it.
Oh, but the up and under might work if he doesn't knock it on, and he barely does. He was able to get there first.
I got to tell you, that could have easily gone anyway. That was by Dawson Gaudet, who chipped the ball over, and so very close. He almost got it, and that would have been a beautiful try if he got it.
He was able to get back into good position, and he knew he wasn't going to be able to pick it up on the bobble, so he decided to try to kick it again, hoping that it would kind of kick back up into his arms, and it just never did. He ended up knocking it on.
Very unfortunate play on his part.
Brilliant move, though. Brilliant.
It was. You know what? Again, that was about a half and half chance, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out for him. All right, so we're taking a little break here. The ref McClure is having a talk with the AR. We're going to see what happens here.
A little more conversation.
All right, so McClure, they're holding on. It's still going to be a scrum put in Alliance. All right, so let's see what happens here.
You know, I have to admit, after 2 days of watching non-stock rugby, I'm loving it too. I'm really starting to get a clearer sense of all these calls, and especially the secondary calls. You know, it is an art form to try to learn everything in the game of rugby, and those rules do change periodically. So I know for some of the newer viewers out there, it can be a little hard on the entry, but once you get going, though, it really is a fun game and rather easy to understand.
Well, I got to tell you something. I don't think there's anything more exciting than actually being able to join into a ruck and be a part of it. And then when you actually get the ball and run with it, but of course I'm speaking like a forward.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You know, I don't know this backline play. That's a whole new thing, and I know they love it too. Look at that! Wow, 8-man pick. And that 8-man really got it strong. Lum on the ball.
Yeah, DeHaven with the truck stick. But even better tackling this time by HARC.
And that's their number 23 from Alliance. Got the ball out, kick to touch, and so we're going to have our first line out thrown in by Houston.
Yeah, Brad wearing that number 23 for Alliance.
So the ball's going to be thrown in. Let's see here. We expect by Matthew Christian.
A little bit of a standstill here after the initial try from Alliance.
And it is Christian Matthew. He is going to be throwing the ball in. Let's see what they do. They're going to go long. Little tap down. Oh, man. Wow. That beautiful tap there by Alliance. Okay, but I tell you what, look at HARC's defense. They're reforming strongly. He's going to hold on. That's right. Number 10 there, Glenn Fontenot. He stopped the run.
Good That was Cody Fry again going through that fray and just trying to let that ball go. It was backward, not forward, so this will be an interception for Gonzalez.
That's right. Philip Gonzalez got the ball for HARC, and they're resetting, getting everything up.
And the referee says again that one went backward. He could have called a knock possibly.
He could have, but he decided, he saw it not going back. He said play on, and that's what we're seeing right here.
Now HARC starting to utilize possession here as they drive the ball downfield. Good phasing so far and great clearance on the ruck. This will give him some more breathing.
Going off to
with.
number 12 there. That's Alexander Reeves.
Plenty of players here on the near side, but they don't want to utilize that. Instead, going with the end around.
7 gets the ball right there. Franklin Buchanan. I'm sorry, that's John Paul Shen.
And Shen able to break that would-be tackle of Matt Dawson.
Holding on to the ball.
I keep on wanting to say that I would like to see HARC spin it out wide here to the near side. Instead,
and it looks like the defense from Alliance is really holding them in place. So that could go either way. If HARC can hold on in these phases, they could find an opening in the defense. But Alliance is still giving, and there it is. Knock on,
like
advantage. You know, that's the thing is when you have a stout defense, you kind of hope for something just like what we saw. A little foul up, and unfortunately it was a knock on for HARC. But at the same time, when you're going phase after phase after phase, you're also looking for a foul up on the defense, which is that they're going to not be able to cover something. There's going to be a gap that appears, and that happens quite frequently. And it just so happened this time it worked for Alliance's favor.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking for that crevice when you have the ball and just trying to wear down the defense. Keep on pulling them side to side and hope for that gap to appear that you can just run right through and really utilize the spacing. But defensively, on the same token, while you're getting stretched from side to side, you're hoping that the offense is going to make a mistake, that they have unsure hands, maybe a ball misplaced that will end up in touch, or in this case, something that would lead to a knock-on just because they were starting to get tired and they had that lapse of mental concentration. And in this case, that's exactly what happened.
Absolutely, and it looks like we right now we have a man down for Alliance, and so we have time off. Blair McClure, coach, or actually assistant, and the trainer. That's one thing about Alliance is they always come out with 2 certified trainers. They even have a doctor on their staff, so they are well covered in that area.
Yes, and you know, I think it's something as rugby continues to grow in popularity that you know, certain standards will be met for player safety, and I think that's something that you'll eventually see maybe in the next 10, 15 years, that everybody will have this. It will be more of the norm as opposed to the oddity.
Well, you know it is, and another thing is it does make you feel a little bit safer and better on the ground. And let's see our man right out there. Yeah, he's coming back. Man, that was number 13. He was down for a little bit, and now he's back up. Lance Connor. Now, he's not going to leave this game. This is a state championship game to him. Oh, welcome back, Lance.
Yes, championship Sunday. One more title to be awarded here today. And it's going to be pretty much figured out maybe in the next 60 minutes or so.
Well, you know, Alliance's D3 team unfortunately lost the semifinal yesterday to HERT, and then we had HERT's D2 team lose the final state championship match earlier today to the Austin Blacks. Ryan Monk's kicking down the pitch. That's picked up by number 14, Sam McDonald. They send it down the pitch. Look at this. It looks like it's all in favor of HARC, but it's not. Okay, so we're going to go back.
I don't know what else HARC could have done in that situation. They had exactly what they needed. Gaudet putting that ball into the air. They had 2 guys gunning for it, plus Gaudet, so make it 3, and neither one of them could get on the loose ball to touch it down for the try.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now we're going to the 22 drop. Yeah, that was very opportunistic right there for HARC.
A definite missed opportunity for HARC.
That was
to try to even up the score.
Good 22 drop by Monk, so now we're going back to 14. McDonald.
Ooh, good hands to get it from behind.
Look at that, 21. He's being held. They're trying to get him to touch, and they take him out.
Yeah, Joshua Smith, one of the 3 Joshuas there to help escort the ball carry out play.
That was Sonny Sika with the ball. He was trying not to be taken out. He had no support right there. And so now we're going to see this lineup by Alliance.
Yeah, Sika with the good hands and was just trying to wait for somebody to come and help push him. Nobody ever came.
No one ever. That's tough. It's tough.
Well, usually out on an island, and you just know that you're in danger, especially so close to the try line and getting pushed out of play.
Ball goes up.
Good win by HARC, or excuse me, by Alliance.
Not thrown straight, says McClure.
And it's going to go on Avides because he's the hooker.
And I tell you what, the selection by HARC is to scrum. So it's going to be scrum. It will be HARC's put in. We'll have number 9, the scrum half, Jared Voss. He's going to be putting the ball in. And then the hooker for HARC, Christian Matthew.
We get set for this clash here. 2 big body teams. So
2 big body teams, evenly weighed, evenly matched. Both of them are well trained. McClure calling it up for safety. He's going to have a little word with the packs.
Interesting here by the 8-man and Ed Jevons for HARC. If you notice, he doesn't put his head in. He really is just kind of like looking over the scrum, seeing where the ball's going to play out.
That's kind of interesting. Let's watch him here now.
This time he sticks it in the whole way, but last time he had that head popped out.
He was looking around. I think he had something up his sleeves. I don't know. We can only assume.
No, he pops it out again. Look at that. He's looking.
Well, ball was not hooked. Came straight out.
It was so deliberate. I hadn't seen anything like that all day, but I wonder what HARC has planned for this scrum.
Well, it's going to be interesting.
You want to think 8-man pick just because he's already trying to come out early, and that's
yeah,
what everybody
you can't
does.
help. Exactly, you can't. And, that adds an extra man to the back line. But look at this. Can he beat the weak side? That's what I wonder if he's thinking. I mean...
he does have this opening here to the weak side. It looks like there might be a little overcommitment. There's not enough spacing.
Here we go. We're going to see.
Oh, and just pops loose.
Pops loose, but it's considered hooked, so there it goes. HARC is taking it. Number 12 got it. That's Alexander Reeves who got the ball. He was trying to pass it down the line, trying to spin it up. We're getting it back on to 19.
McDonald.
That's Franklin Buchanan. All right.
That long blonde hair threw me off.
So here we go. Penalty Alliance. Brian Monk's going to do the penalty kick.
Monk's getting a good kick off of that one.
I have no idea where he learned how to do that.
I was going to say, are you sure you didn't teach him how to do this?
I promise you. All right, so here we go. So it's going to be a throw in at the line out.
I thought you were to say, no, I'm left-handed and left-footed. He kicks with his right.
No idea. All right, so here it is. But we still have a tight game. It's still 7-0 at this point.
Yeah, Lions taking this one quickly, though. Back to Monks. Let's see what he likes to do here.
Getting it out to 10.
Dawson.
And look at that. Look at that. HARC is really driving, really pushing.
But look at the bodies. Cleats up
coming around
and
the
over.
side. Penalty. Alliance. I tell you what, though. HARC is fighting. They played a tough match earlier in the D2 against the Blacks. They want to win a game.
Oh, I mean, they've had some real heart here today, and they've shown some great tenacity as an entire club, not just in this match. Another Gary Owens special trying to complete it, except too hard on the kick. This is going to be returned by HARC, now past that halfway point. What a run here. Connor Lance wheeling and dealing.
Trying to keep the ball in.
And the crowd sensing a possible try for Alliance here. Now the play finally slows down. They're close. They're knocking on that door.
And I tell you what, HARC's defense is trying to blow past that ruck. Unfortunately, came in from the side.
Yeah,
and so we have a penalty Alliance.
It's a difficult proposition to fulfill. And it can be a little scary when you're asked to try to blow up that ruck on your own. I don't blame him for going in on the side, but you can't do that. And it looks like we might just get a scrum down.
Oh, okay. It looks like we missed something here. All right. So we're going to have a scrum, and it will be Alliance's put in.
If the Lions can get a good push, they might be able to just walk this over the line. I mean, they might be asking a lot since both scrums are pretty even, but you just don't know.
And Lum's getting ready. Lum feeds the ball.
Oh, 8-man pick.
Well, the 8-man pick worked.
Yeah, John DeHaven. And that's what we were looking for a little earlier. You saw him, he had his head right into the scrum, and then he picked it out real quick, waiting for the pick, had it in hand, made the move, dotted it down for the score.
You know, I really was expecting Alliance to drive a little bit further forward, but they didn't. They didn't. They just took the pick, and why not? It just worked.
They knew that they must have seen something with HARC, and they figured that working quickly would be the best benefit for them instead of just trying to use the power game and be slow and methodical. And they did it even on the line out. They took it quickly, and that really messed with the timing defensively for HARC.
And sometimes that's a good thing to do. You don't want to do it all the time, but sometimes you do.
Well, you don't want to be predictable.
That's it.
Got to keep the other team guessing. And right now, I mean, Alliance is making all the right moves.
Well, I tell you what, Brian Monks, he has he's kicking directly into the wind now. So let's see what happens here.
Good distance on the kick, but offline.
Offline, just a little bit off. Okay, so that brings the score in favor of Alliance. 12-0. Now, whenever you miss any kicks, penalty kicks, conversion kicks, there's always the fear of, is that going to come back and bite us later?
And we saw it happen yesterday.
We did, didn't we?
I mean, I've seen it happen so many times. I saw it in the D1A round of 16 playoffs where at the very end of the game, the kid had the ball up on the tee, and it was blown off by the wind, so he was running out of time, so he decided to try to drop kick it. He came up short, and that was the points that would have put them in the lead, and they ended up losing with like 2 more minutes to go.
Absolutely.
And we saw it yesterday happen as well, as there was plenty of missed kicks. We had the one that was tipped, and it still went over the crossbar, and it went in, so if that one was actually blocked, we would have had a different team playing here this Sunday for the championship.
We sure would have, and I tell you what, it's always amazing to bring it back to those situations. Yeah, there it is. Boy, the wind's hitting my mouth right now. I tell you what, right now we have a water break going on, so we have a 1-minute water break. Speaking of those kicks, it reminds me of, again, just because it was a phenomenal game to be at, and that's the USA versus Scotland match in Houston last summer. And here's the deal, a 1-point win for USA. Scotland missed their conversion kick. They scored the try, and they were going phase after phase after phase, controlling the ball. They broke down the USA defense, threw the ball out wide, scored on the corner, and then they had the kick. Of course, it was kind of funny for me because many of the Scots said, well, you Americans didn't respect the kicker. No, what happens is a lot of the Americans are used to screaming and yelling like that in American football or baseball or whatever. So it was just a battle of the cultures, if you will. But Scotland missed the conversion, and USA won.
No, that's on them. If you're a pro, you have to tune that stuff out. Who cares?
Hey, there it is. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was saying myself. But, I mean, it's a difficult position to be put in. I mean, all the eyes are on you, and you're expected to make this kick to win the game. That's a lot of pressure.
Here we go. Glenn Fontenot kicking off for HARC.
They got right after this score from Alliance. So they have the first 2 tries of this contest.
Hey, the defense from HARC was right there. Alliance didn't get much. I almost said yardage there. I'm still thinking American football yardage or our English system. They didn't get much meters.
No, it's one of those things. I mean, I know exactly what people are talking about, but I can't visually picture a kilometer. If you ask me to go 2 kilometers, I can't picture it.
Oh, look at this breakthrough by number 4. Wow, that was something. Joshua Bowden.
Yeah, one of the Joshuas. That one, Bowden.
Look at this. Oh, look at this. Almost picked.
Oh, and no, his shoulder, though. He was trying to yank the ball loose. You saw him reach to his shoulder, and then that extra yank really hurt. And that was another Joshua. That one's Joshua Smith. And he is in pain. And I could hear it, and I could see it, folks. And that one, that's so unfortunate because I know that there was no malice behind it. He was just trying to rip the ball out. But he was already going down in pain as the opposing player was ripping that ball loose, and he caught his arm, and he just yanked on that shoulder that was already hurting.
Absolutely. Glenn Fontenot from HARC was just doing what any player would do and go for the ball. And, of course, if you look right here right now, very typical of rugby. Who do you see with the down man? Well, of course, you see the trainer, and you also see HARC's number 2, Christian Matthew.
Yeah, I mean, this is the sportsmanship that we always talk about in this game. I mean, yes, you're rivals on the pitch and you're trying to win, but at the end, everybody's happy, having a good time. And ultimately, brothers and sisters within the sport, because it's part of that fraternity. It's part of that sorority of rugby that everybody, you know, like you mentioned earlier in the day, you go around the world, you tell somebody you play this great game, and you've already made a friend for at least the time that you be there, or if not, a friend for life.
All right, so now we're having somebody else come out here, and we're bringing out the wagon. We're going to see what's happening right here.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, this one, we've been really fortunate when it comes to the injuries here today, but this one looking a little more serious, just because I could see he was just trying to let go of the ball because he already felt something. It just
wasn't right. He knew something was wrong. All right.
You just know when you like a magnet, when your eyes get locked into something that's off the ball, and you just notice it. I just happened to see it the whole way through, so I saw the pain in his face as he went down initially, and now.
Yeah, it looks like they're wrapping him up before possibly being taken to a hospital.
Yeah, we've already seen one separated shoulder issue in that Blacks D3 game. Luckily, he was taken out, but it didn't look like he needed any further medical attention to get it reset. But here, I mean, it was just, he was in pain, he had the ball up, and then that extra rip that just, if there was something wrong with the shoulder, that definitely just did some further damage to it.
And, you know, here's the thing also, speaking of safety of rugby football, I go around and I speak to many American football coaches, and I show the safety of rugby versus American football just from the tackles and so forth. And the thing is, injuries happen. They can happen in softball. A bad slide, you do whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so here he is.
Yeah, that's going to be Joshua Smith, the lock.
Okay, so Joshua Schmidt is coming out. They're going to be replacing him.
I hate to see anybody go down, but as with any other sport, I mean, you have to be ready, next man up. And you still have plenty of game. You have to reset and stay within this contest. They're up by 2 scores, but, you know, it's little things like this that can really hurt the momentum for them.
It could. It really could. And so here's our new man coming in. Black tape man. We're going to find out who he is in just a moment once we get his number.
This is going to be a backup lock filling in for Joshua Smith.
And look like it can be number 18, Will Lyon. We haven't confirmed that number yet.
That sounds like a name of a person that would be tall.
Will Lyon. Yeah, absolutely.
And you see it again. See, he's not fully committed to the scrum. Is the 8-man for HARC.
Yeah, the 8-man for HARC, his head is up. He's looking. Look at this, the drive, the good drive from Alliance. They're keeping the ball in there.
It looks like
keeping the ball in.
Looks like a bunch of ostriches out on the beach with their heads poking out of the sand.
And it was interesting because it almost became an 8-man pick, but Lum got the ball out.
And the ball is still with possession with Alliance over on that far sideline, so they're just dancing on the touchline.
There were a few not great passes, but I tell you what, they were held on, but the defense of HARC stopped advancement there.
Yeah, Monk's trying to direct the offense.
Oh, look at this. Maybe a meter, maybe. Or a centimeter. We're going to go back to those centimeters.
Monk's is going to look to kick this away, and he does. It's going to be a great kick if it goes into touch, and it does. So, again, I don't know where he's learned this kicking. I haven't seen him try to ruck any in this game, but his kicks have been phenomenal.
Well, I tell you what, McDonald, it was almost dangerous because I saw McDonald go for the ball. And the thing is, he went for the ball, and did he touch it before going out, thereby making it into touch by HARC or not?
I thought this was going to be a Lions throw, honestly. I thought that HARC had touched it, but maybe I had just missaw something. And instead, HARC taking advantage of the situation.
Well, ultimately, it comes down to the touch judge at that point. And so, well...
And this will come from the middle judge.
Well, McClure, he saw a forward pass right there.
And I mean, I saw it too, so I definitely agree. Good eyes from the referee. Not much has gone past him here in this first half.
Well, you know, from HARC's perspective, this is very unfortunate. What HARC needs in order to get back fully into the game is they just need a good break. They're playing unbelievable defense. HARC's defense is stout. They're tough. You know, they do everything. They're flat. they attack, they nominate who they're going to get, and they're doing it extremely well. So I have to commend HARC for that.
It really did take big plays for Alliance to score. It wasn't just, sitting around in the HARC territory and
Absolutely.
and sneaking one in. No, it took some big plays that were just a little miscues on the defense. Other than that, HARC has almost been impenetrable.
Absolutely, that's it. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to see Lum about to put the ball in for Alliance.
And you have to remember with Smith going out, you have to see if the scrums would differ any. It was a good push from Alliance, though.
Free kick, HARC. Well, this could be what HARC needs.
And you saw...
There's a little conversation going on there.
Yeah, a little gamesmanship there as the ball was kind of batted forward.
Ed Javins was wanting to know from the ref what's going on there. He saw something.
And you hear the Alliance fans hoping for a try here. I mean, they've had their chances. They're working well in spurts, but they haven't been able to put everything together just yet in this first half.
Look at this. Now we have another penalty to HARC.
Buddy's on.
It's just going to be booted for touch.
Man, yeah, I agree. I heard
Good kick.
number 15, or actually number 20 from HARC yelling good kick, and we fully agree. That was a good kick.
Yeah, definitely ate up some distance. They should get they will get a favorable line out as well, will HARC. And they win this line out as well.
And they're passing it down the back line. There it goes.
And there it went.
Advantage. Monks with the ball. Monks offloads. Knock on.
Yeah, so we'll come all the way back and play the original knock on from HARC.
That's right. That's right. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so
That doesn't look good. Number 13, he's slowly getting up. Yeah, there was you're right. Original knock on from HARC. Second knock on by Alliance.
But yes, I mean, Alliance, they've already dealing with one injury. Wouldn't want to have to see a second. So, hoping everybody can just get through the game pretty much unscathed. And that's hard to say. I mean, it's a contact sport. And the hits are inevitable.
So here goes Lum. He's putting the ball in. And I got to tell you, listen to the guys from HARC, man. They were really grunting. They wanted that scrum.
Yeah, it was a good try.
Pass out to Brad, 23.
Brad trying to get the player out of his way. Oh, and Brad gets taken out with a flying tackle from John DeHaven.
Ball caught by Cadet.
And Brad's still down because he was blindsided by his own teammate. And we talked about the injuries, but the referee will probably see this and stop play because Brad's not getting up. And unfortunately, the medic having to do another full pitch sprint.
Here she comes from the other side while working with the last player who went out, Joshua.
Yeah, and it looks like it's another shoulder issue here because it wasn't necessarily the hit that I think affected him. It seemed like it was going to be the ground. Some people forget, like, yes, you get hit and the initial hit might hurt, but it's when you hit the ground that where you feel all the power.
Well, and especially now, I mean, we've had, it's very dry right now.
Exactly.
The sun's been out all day. The ground is hard. If this was a softer ground, if we had rain, let's say, yesterday, that'd be a different thing.
Yeah, but there's no give at this point now. And you can see that they're working on that left arm, shoulder, elbow area, but no give. So I'm assuming, one, he wasn't expecting the contact because it came from his own teammate, and he kind of got flipped around as he got hit. So when he did land, he landed really hard on that shoulder.
And I have to tell you something. It was great when he did the chip. He was running on it. And I mean, just his athleticism was fantastic. And the skill that he had was fantastic. But look at what we have here on the field. The grass is extremely short. The ground is hard. And so this is our second shoulder issue.
And the pitch a little uneven just because, you had some waterlogged areas earlier that have been filled in. And it's kind of bumpy right now, especially after all the play. He looks to be okay, though, and he might stay in this game. I mean, that was scary to see, but I don't think he wants to come out.
He doesn't want to come out. He's looking at him. No, I'm fine.
Yeah, can he play on? That's the question. Trying to see if he still has full range of motion.
I tell you, yeah.
I'm thinking he's still in quite an amount of pain as you see him trying to open and close those fingers on his left hand.
Well, it's interesting because I'm thinking the trainer is telling them, look, just take some time off. But he looks like the kind of guy who's going to say, listen, I'm going to fight through. It's only an arm. It's only a flesh wound.
No, I don't think he's going to be able to make that call. I love the valiant effort, though.
Yeah, it looks like the trainer got him off. Okay, so.
Yeah, she is trying to look out for his best interest.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, I understand that there's a lot of pride, but, no offense, but, he's not going to be waking up tomorrow morning with a professional contract in hand to help pay for any injuries, so to speak.
All right, so now we're starting off penalty kick. Brian Monk's kicking to touch.
This is just purely for love of the game, and that is admirable.
And we are meters from the goal line. Going to have a throw-in, Alliance.
And, I do have to wonder, Larry, if that's going to affect the psyche of Alliance to see two of their starting 15 go out due to injury.
That's a good question. I wonder about that. Hey, look at this. We have number 21, Eric Bello, in for Alliance.
Another hard tackle from HARC. I mean, that defense is flying around.
Now, HARC's defense is very well coached, very stout. They're not going to give in.
They're tight, well spaced.
Yep.
And they hold their line well. Not much room to work with.
All right, so here we're going phase after phase.
And another player down for Alliance. They are just starting to drop one by one. And who will get back up on his own, hopefully, is Dawson, as he is slow to get up.
Lum's looking. Monks has the ball.
Oh,
almost intercepted, and I have a feeling that's going to be a yellow card because the intentional knock-on. But let's see what the ref says. Because you want to reach out, you want to get the ball, and if it knocks on, then they call that an intentional knock-on. But is that going to happen?
No, I don't see him working towards the pocket for the head man in charge.
Oh, so we're playing old school rules. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay
with that.
But Wendy was kind enough to explain to me how it became high risk, high reward.
Absolutely, it is.
You would see it on basically on the professional, international level. A lot of time the guys would just slap it down and kind of just ruin the run of play.
It would interrupt play, and what you want to do is really have good play, strong play, and not stoppage in play. But it looks like Alliance wins the ball.
Good grubber.
Chips. He gets a grubber there.
Oh, it's going to be a 22 takeout after that with touch. Good heads-up play there from HARC's defense again. Good kick as well.
HARC kicks quickly out to number 15.
Yeah, Connor Lance trying to make some moves here.
And the support in the ruck, getting the ball out quickly.
Oh, Casey Cook wheeling and dealing. They can go this time.
Lum to 8.
Yeah, DeHaven, he's been all over the pitch in this first half of play. Here's Dawson, who was down earlier. Great offload there to the 18 and Will Lyon. And that will be the third score of the day for Alliance.
Okay, so that was Lyon that scored. Man, the Lion scored.
And the Lion will sleep easy tonight if they can maintain this lead. Right now, Alliance, despite the injuries, still attacking with gusto and has had success.
Well, I got to tell you something. What I'm seeing on the field, though, is really it's the amount of time that Alliance has held the ball. Both teams are really equally matched, and I know that HARC is extremely well coached. So what I'm seeing is that's been their benefit. So here we go. Monk's attempting the conversion.
And that wind picking up, it's not going to make it an easy kick for Monks, as it's going to be blowing from inside out, so to speak. So he's going to have to be kicking at an angle and hope that he can kind of like loop it back in with his right foot. And I'll just double check with you. He is a right-footed kicker, right?
He's a right-footed kicker.
I was going to say, you would know, right? I thought you taught him. I was just trying to get to see if you really did teach him. Just because you said that you were a hooker doesn't mean that you don't know how to kick.
Well, I know how to kick backwards, not forwards.
This is a good kick, though. Again, just slightly off to the left.
No, I tell you what. I really think that wind is taking pace, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to give him a hard time for it for some other reason.
Maybe it's the shoes. I asked him about,
it has to be the shoes.
I asked him about those Cristiano Ronaldo shoes. I was like, do you play in those? He's like, yeah, I think they're comfortable. And I was like, okay, well, I can't hate because I wore those David Beckham cleats back in the day when I first played, so I get it,
You
wore
the David Beckham cleats
the
back
white
when
ones.
you played rugby?
Yeah, back in the day where everybody wore. I was like Broadway Joe Willie.
You were a hicker. I can't believe that. All right, here we go. Game back in play. Oh, that's a good bounce. That could be really good for HARC.
I mean,
number 14 was right on it. McDonald. He got there. Now he's back out in play. Hold on. Let's see the whistle.
He never released.
Yep. No, actually, look at this. Coming around. No, he said coming in from the side. Oh, no, playing the ball in the ruck.
Well, that won't work, too, because the ball was tied up. I think maybe he was trying to release, never had a chance to release.
Well, yeah, that's it. Apparently, HARC was reaching for the ball inside. Ball goes to touch, and it's going to be a throw-in at the line-out.
I do have to ask you this now that you bring it up, though. I mean, since you played this game for a long time, I mean, how much does it kind of stop? Do you still get shocked a little bit seeing like all these multicolored cleats? Because back in my day, everybody was still wearing the Canterbury all black cleat, and I was there standing out with those white cleats. I didn't know any better at the time.
I'm going to tell you exactly what gets me. It's not the cleats. It's the jerseys. We had these long cotton jerseys with big collars and rubber buttons, and we would wear those things out in this weather. And, we would play sevens in those, too. And now they get these really light, short-sleeve things. I'm still getting used to that.
With the stretchy fabric?
Yeah, with the stretchy fabric. Okay, Monks kicks it down, goes to touch.
Yeah, it can be flattering for some physiques, not all. Nothing wrong with that. I completely understand. It's less to grab onto. Has a tactical advantage built in.
It has a tactical advantage, but if you want to wear that for comfort or for showing off what you got, if you're a big belly guy, then, hey, it's not for you.
No, you never want the true tight kit fit if you're going to just wear it around the house, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But here we go. Okay, so we got a line out, throw in by Christian Matthew. Got out to number 12, Alexander Reeves.
Yeah, Gonzalez now with it as he tries to make some room, and Gonzalez with a nice run. This could work out well for HARC, but we have to be towards the closing moments of this first half at this point.
Hey, look at this. We have a penalty. Houston, who tapped it quickly, and I figured that would happen.
And another penalty.
Because they didn't get back the 10. So here we go.
A smart move by HARC, realizing that they were up a little close, Square Alliance.
So here's Jared Voss. He's going to kick it to touch. They're going to try to get that line out just a little bit closer to the goal line.
Well, we have had a lot of stoppages, though, in this first half due to injuries, as we had two rather severe injuries that had to be checked out. Both those players having to leave the pitch as well. So
right.
So there was some time that still has to be made up here. And Alliance, right now, they're not in a situation they've been in most of this game where they're kind of have their backs against the wall.
And let's see, the throw-in's made. Lions trying to bulldoze in there and gets the ball.
This worked out well for HARC, though, or excuse me, for Alliance, as they were able to win it back.
Dawson may lose this ball to HARC. He doesn't. Lum's in there trying to get the ball. Knock on by HARC. HARC was battling for it. Almost got the ball. Unfortunate for them, they knocked it on. So we're going to have a scrum down. Alliance put in.
Yeah, maybe just a little too aggressive. And I can hear it from their bench. They don't like the call.
No, but I tell you what, let's see. McClure blows the whistle, so we have time off. He had a few words.
Looks like we're going to get this scrum. Will be Alliance's scrum.
Okay, McClure saw something he didn't like, so he's going to reset the scrum after a few words to the front rowers there.
Just trying to keep everybody safe and get everything set.
All right, look at this. Ooh, free kick to HARC.
So after all of that, HARC still comes away with the benefit here.
There is an issue there in the scrum.
Do you think they would finally try to attempt for points here at this juncture?
Well, on the free kick, you can't kick it to touch and get a line out, so they decided to tap and run.
And that ruck almost getting blown up by Alliance.
Almost, but I tell you what, that was Lum in the ruck. All right, there it is. Getting a little assistance from the HARC player, the Alliance player.
Another Alliance player a little shaken up. And the tee will come out. That was a try for HARC. So in the scuffle for possession, HARC finding a way to get their first try here near the close of the first half of play.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the number of the HARC player, but we do have number 10 here attempting the conversion. That's Glenn Fontenot. Hey, you're watching online. I'm sure you got the number of the HARC player, so we commend the player who scored that try.
That's something that they're going to look to build on. But they could definitely use this conversion as well. That would make it a 10-point affair.
Well, you know, and I want to comment on that, build on. That's exactly what's been going on with HARC for the last several years. And so now they're here. They were here in the playoffs, state championship here for D4. And so here we go.
Well, I had the distance, but not the accuracy.
Unfortunately for Fontenot, he misses the conversion. But going on with HARC, they are getting stronger. They're getting more players out. They're starting a youth and high school program. They have been working on developing the inner city club very well. So here we go. Kickoff, this time by Alliance to HARC.
And that's great to hear, because I know like teams like Memphis Inner City exist, and they do a really good job with their program of kind of introducing the sport to new to a bunch of people that never even heard of it before. So,
Absolutely.
And finding new players that are starting to love the sport and getting to grow within this fantastic game.
Yeah, come on, Bowden!
I mean, this is not going to go to 10 meters. It's going to come back right towards us. And it looks like just trying to get the ball back to his teammates kind of added some time to this game here in the first half, as we should have a scrum right at the halfway line.
All right, so it's going to be HARC's put in right here.
Scored last time they had possession of the ball. They have to go a lot further this go around. Trying to see if they're trying to set up something to the outside. They have about even numbers to both the right and left flank.
So Jared Voss is getting ready to put the ball in here for HARC.
Oh, and it pops right back out. It
Oh,
is won
look at
by
that.
Alliance.
Lum gets it. He chips it right over. McDonald gets the ball right before number 12 of Alliance gets it.
Good kick to clear up some room.
Good catch by the fullback. And he's
Lance.
just going to be running. Look at this. He bounces off a HARC player right there.
And Lance finally meets his match as he gets hit hard. And you hear the big grunts. He breaks through the initial line, switches, gets pulled down from behind, still looking for the try. He was ended up short. And this time we get the try.
Wow, that run by the 8-man just got it in there. Moved the ball forward. He found an opening in the defense. Ran it right in.
And that was DeHaven again. He's been all over the pitch defensively, offensively. Lum, the scrum half, though, following up on the play. Johnny on the spot. This time, instead of setting up the next phase, he was there for the try.
All right, so right now, Alliance ahead 22-5 over HARC. We're going to see how HARC comes out here this time. They got to kick off back to Alliance, but I'm expecting a very strong defense from HARC. Again, playing solid defense, very hard, matching up, attacking, etc. So here we go. The conversion attempt by Monks.
Last kick offline, but he was kicking it from the near side of the pitch. Wind a little less now. Showing some great concentration on the approach.
Wow, that one was missed. And I have to tell you, when Monks played for the Houston Aeros, he was the top scorer primarily off of penalties and conversion kicks.
Yeah, but offline so far today hasn't found the touch, but he will be happy that his team is going into the half with the lead.
That's right, 22-5 right now for Alliance. But you know, we have a whole second half coming up. So that's a whole another 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And right now, if you take a look at the depth of both teams, we have HARC is just a little bit ahead.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a little break for halftime. Let everybody get reset, and then we'll be back with the second half.
Sounds great.
All right. We'll be back here in just a moment.
No, yes, I'm very happy for my son's team, but I got a lot of friends over there, so.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. I think we're back live now.
Oh, we're back live? All right, we're back live. Well, here we go.
What? We already mentioned the fact that your son's playing for Alliance.
He
and
plays
that's
for
okay.
Alliance,
You want
but
to see him do well.
Well, he plays for Alliance.
You're not being biased.
And I'm looking forward to doing some work with HARC coming up here. So, I have fondness for both sides.
Well, yes, both pillars of the community within their respective area.
Absolutely. Here we go. And the second 40 minutes, second half has just begun.
Yeah, this is HARC. They're going from left to right, dressed in the red tops, blue shorts, red socks. As for Alliance, they're dressed in the gray and black striped top with the white trim and
look
the
at
black
that.
shorts.
Matthew, he got the ball out on the first run. They're going to be crashing it forwards. Yeah, there's number 3, Vega.
So the props getting in some running work here. Alliance able to score before the end of the break.
Hey, look at this. Alliance is trying to get him to touch and do so.
Ooh, maybe an early flag. I didn't feel like he got all the way in.
Come on, Queso, get him!
Well, I can't repeat exactly what he said.
He said good stuff. He was
Yeah.
telling number 12, number 15 from Alliance was telling number 12, good stuff. Kind of, sort of.
I was going to say, I think
A little bit more colorful.
the current nomenclature for that phrase, without making it actually sound like the actual phrase, is ish.
Ish. Yes, he really liked what he did, and he did it by himself. So
It was a two-man takedown. Fry and Lance were both there to kind of escort the ball carrier out of play.
Get it, baby!
look at that, Lum getting out to Monks. Monks is skipping. Skip 2 on a fake.
Now we see Monks going to that ruck, setting the ruck. Lum.
And Lum chipping it over. Being picked up by Matthew Ting.
Yeah, it was caught right on the catch, or he was hit right on the catch.
All right, let's see what the referee says here. All right, we're going to have a scrum. It looked like he said knock on. So scrum, Alliance.
I mean, HARC's been the team that's been proving well in the scrum here so far today. And again, Alliance, if you missed the first half of play, a couple of injuries that they're dealing with, those players not returning. So they were both substituted out, both with shoulder injuries. Very coincidental.
Yeah, we had a winger who went out on a shoulder injury, number 23, Brad, when he went down hard. And then we also have a lock.
Yeah, Josh Smith.
Yeah, Smith had to come out. All right, let's see what's going on there. Ooh, look at that. HARC is pushing well.
This ball coming out right where it needed to be. Monk's able to get back his pass.
Going out real wide. Not able to get it. 14 was the man on the spot. That was McDonald right on him.
Bellew, though, he dances through the defense and picks up some positive meters.
McDonald from HARC put on some great pressure. Going back out to 15, McDonald's going to try to put on the pressure again. Tried to do a backward pass, still has the ball. The ball is still in play. Now it's HARC's ball. Hold on 1 second, we have a whistle.
And McDonald, he just whipped the ball carrier right into that flag that signifies the 22 line here.
Well, we see a scrum. Possibly he called it a knock-on. The ball was passed backwards behind him. He's doing this underhanded pass, but may have gone a little forward there. So let's see.
HARC had a good push on their last scrum.
They sure did. And now it's their feed.
We were saying that it's now HARC's feed.
I was saying it's now HARC's feed. Look at that, pretty evenly matched. HARC gets the ball out quickly. Moving the ball nicely down the back
They
line.
got numbers.
Get him!
Good open field tackle.
King, Reeves, Sika moving the ball nicely.
Yeah, but only slowed him down for just a moment. They're past the midway line now.
They sure are. Let's see how they do it. Okay, McDonald has the ball. He's going to run it straight up.
Get him, Casey! Get him!
Rutherford's in the game now. That's the president of HARC.
Yeah, and went back for more today, huh?
Well, you know, he only played one game earlier, and that was in the D2 championship, so why not come out again?
Only one? Man, he played in like the hottest game.
There's Matthews. He was on the run.
Ooh, nice
15.
no-look offload.
Got it. Going on the run.
And it's right in the middle where the...
Gaudette's going to pass it out.
Come on, baby! Take him down!
I tell you what, 14 was on there.
Oh, and this ball
That's 15
way
that
off
was
line.
in. I had to pass it back out of necessity.
And Alliance almost able to push back HARC past the midway point.
Scrum half Voss. He was looking for somebody. He got somebody. He's crashing it up. The little bang up there.
That was a good hard run. And HARC needs more of those.
I think that was Rutherford who had that ball there. HARC is possessing the ball. They're holding on to it. And now they're moving it out wide. And that was a good move going out. Getting out to McDonald, number 14, who's getting it over there to 15. That's Gaudette. Gaudette had a good run.
Yeah, Lance able to unend him. But HARC still in the deficit, 22-5.
Ball's played quickly. Gave a penalty offside.
Casey!
Off to KC. And it looks like that's number 5 who gets it right up the middle. That is Kieran O'Connor.
Yeah, just waltzes in underneath the post. This should leave an easy conversion attempt, and that is the first try of the second half for HARC.
Well, I got to tell you something. HARC has come out as a different team right now. They possessed the ball. They had the ball. They held on to it phase after phase, pass after pass. They did some crash bang, you know, just one pass out, give it to a forward, he crashes up. And then they got it out all the way to the backs, going all the way out to the wings and then back in. And it was loose play that was basically well done, very tight. And then it got the ball back to the number 5, O'Connor. And I have to commend him because, yeah, it was something to see him just kind of walk in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's probably the easiest try we have seen scored here today. As David Miller will go out for HARC, he headed over to the sidelines, so we should have a substitution coming on.
So here's Glenn Fontenot attempting the conversion. And he makes it.
Yeah, much tighter game now here in the second half of play.
Tell you what, it's a 10-point game, still in favor of Alliance, but right now the momentum is on HARC's side.
22-12 our score line. As the Alliance, they maintain that lead like you just mentioned. But I mean, HARC, they have scored the last 2 tries, ending the first half and getting one here in the second.
And I think what we just saw is a good example of how really evenly matched both of these sides are. You know, when Alliance had the higher lead, that was really not telling of what HARC had. So here we go.
Just had to have the ball in order to restart, though.
Yep, and coming in now for Alliance, we have number 19. You know, I tell you something. Alliance likes those close kicks, just barely make it 10 yards. That way, their side, their team could come up and option for the ball. Some teams like to kick far. You know, there's advantages to both. But
I was going to always say that it really just depends on the style of play that you prefer. Some teams would like to try to force the receiving team into a quick mistake, and they like to keep it close, and others, feeling that their defense is not as strong, will just elect to play it long.
Exactly, and sometimes if you kick it long, you could have another team just boot it right back to you. So it's an interesting play. So here we go. It was a knock-on by HARC. All right, penalty, Alliance wheeling the scrum against HARC.
Yeah, I mean, HARC's been really strong in the scrum, so Alliance coming away with a much-needed win when it came to the call here. As they've been a little slow to get started here in the second half. Again, dealing with those injuries. Have to wonder if that's hurt some of the camaraderie and some of that flow that they had working in that first half.
Wow, what a boot. I think that was kicked by Hamilton. And so it could be a switch of momentum back to Alliance.
Yeah, Alliance just kind of marching up the pitch now. Again, though, lineout's never a for sure thing. And that wind, it jumps from high to low.
All right, recovered by Alliance, and they're going to drive it. Drive it in the maul. The ball's already in the back. It's in the back of the maul. They just need to drive it a little bit. Getting it out to Lum. It looked like it was starting to fall.
It's a good offload there.
Lum's getting the ball, getting it out to 19.
Good hands being shown here by Alliance.
Oh, the 8-man going
Straight
right
down.
in there. Wow, but tackled hard. And he's down, but he's getting back up. HARC has the ball. They're holding it up. They get the ball out.
Oh, he loses possession. It's still anybody's ball here. Alliance able to get back on it and stay in play. Good job by Lum.
Alliance gets it back. Unfortunately, 21 there for HARC. Not with the ball.
And you hear the yells, just almost primal here.
He sure is.
Definitely a man on a mission.
Well, we have the penalty. I think that may slow down the war effort just for about 10 seconds. And then we're going to have HARC fight back, and we're going to hear the Viking screaming yells once again.
Yeah, HARC trying to stay motivated. I mean, they have had some success. They've scored, but it's all about trying to stop Alliance right now. And again, only down by 10, 22-12 in case you joined in late, as it is Alliance who currently holds the lead.
All right, so we have the Vikings from HARC, Rutherford and Reed. They're there to try to give the big defense. Alvarez ready to throw the ball in for Alliance.
Brought down by Alliance.
And that attempted maul just went straight down. Let's see who gets the ball here. Lum passes it out. And HARC coming on with the screaming defense.
Trying to get everybody into position. Good dummy.
Drive.
Yeah, and Hamilton still continues to drive.
Lum's getting the ball out quickly.
Still not in just yet. Another good tackle right on that step.
Yeah, I tell you what, that defense is holding up. Not releasing tackle player, penalty, Alliance. Wow, but I tell you what, HARC was given a never stop wall defense. That's amazing.
Yes, I was really impressed with HARC's defensive stand there. It really looked like this was going to be a well-earned try for Alliance, but instead HARC having different ideas.
All right, so here we go now. Lum's getting ready to put the ball in. Alliance is set up. HARC is set. Ball's in, comes straight out. It was kicked, so it counts.
Good tackle.
And look at this. It is an open ball right now.
Oh, and this is to their speedster.
Speedster has it, but Speedster accidentally ran into 22 for Alliance.
Yeah, And DePaul, he could have been gone. He should have cut to the opposite direction, but Alliance, oh, a big fend. Dancing on the touchline.
And I tell you, that's President and Viking Rob Rutherford, number 17 for HARC, who had the ball. And
looks like he stepped into touch, though, before he was able to offload the pass.
he sure did, unfortunately. But, man, he was seeing the end goal and the try to be. And he almost had it.
He definitely put it into another gear there as he saw some daylight.
Well, I tell you what, unfortunate for Rutherford because that was a stout run that he had coming from a forward to run like a back. That's amazing.
I was going to say, I felt that, Rutherford channeling his inner back with that smaller size 17 jersey.
You know he's going to hear this, right? He's going to hear this.
He had some good moves, though. I'm not going to lie. I was impressed. I mean, that's what you're looking for in rugby, the combination of size and speed.
All right, Alliance has the ball now.
Might help if you take some ballet classes to get some of that nimbleness. I'm talking about every player, not just him.
HARC's number 15 right there got the ball. Godet.
It's over here to Paul.
Godet to Paul. Paul chips it. Oh, look
Good
at this.
tackle by
It's
Paul.
a battle meow. Paul was not going to let that man get past him.
I don't know if that was held. I don't know if you. I don't know if I would consider that.
I don't know what that goal was, but
And this is going to be kicked in the touch off of the penalty. So
All right, the call penalty for not releasing the tackled player.
and HARC will like to try to utilize this. I mean, they are right near the try line.
I
Not too
tell you,
far.
not too far. I tell you what, they're moving up there. So this is really a good situation for HARC right now. And both teams are playing their toughest. They're playing their best. HARC just seems to have been having a little bit of a better half so far.
Oh, definitely. So good movement on the line out, and it was successful.
Good recovery.
And a costly mistake.
Advantage for the knock-on. Knock-on by HARC. Referee McClure called advantage. Lum kicks it way downfield.
Oh, and HARC almost
Godet
messes up.
going for the ball along with Paul. He looked like the referee McClure called offsides against Alliance. Must have had a few players. Yeah, they had a few players in front of the kicker. He went down to try to engage down there with Paul
Another
and McDonald.
well-placed kick. Again for Hirsch.
Okay, so now we're going into line out thrown in by number 2, Matthew, for HARC.
22-12, our score remains in favor of the
Actually, not by Matthew. We get our big man, number 25. That was Reed throwing the ball in.
Drive, drive, drive.
Getting down and low, shoulder in. That's the way to engage.
good hands.
Potentially a high tackle. Yes, advantage called. We're going to see what the call is. Yep. Penalty. Looks like a high tackle. Yep, high tackle called.
And Lions having to get back those 10 meters. Be
All
interesting
right.
to see what's HARC having to step back 10 meters. Is interesting to see what Alliance will elect to do here.
Well, here we go. So I think Alliance is going to go ahead and just kick to touch. Get the throw in at the line out.
I was just saying lateral in football. The only thing I have to base on this to compare it to is football.
So a couple of substitutions being made for HARC.
Well, let's see if we can get some numbers of those coming in here.
Well, I can see that it's Kristen Matthew who's going off.
Let's go, let's go!
Oh, that was a terrific run by Calvin Lum. The line side has the ball to the outside.
Tried to do a behind-the-back offload. Not a knock-on.
It's falling right back on top of it was Reeves for HARC, and now Reeves back with possession.
Yeah, down that part.
It's going to be kicked out by Paul.
Paul kicks it down there real well.
Good job, good job!
Oh, look at this, trying to go on the outside here. Oh, and turnover.
Just taken away at the right moment, and it's going to be kicked into touch. It's kept in. Great
It's
play.
kept in. Oh, but now he's into touch.
It's kind of like, oh,
I tell you what, Rob Rutherford said, "You're not going to do that to us. I'm going to get you out." No, I don't think so. Not today.
yeah, if you're not going to let us kick it out, we'll just escort you out. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, you know, I look at Rob and I say, yeah, he is kind of like a bouncer.
Get out. It's your.
A big man.
I was going to say bouncers come in all shapes and sizes, but yes, the traditional big man bouncer.
You know, I like to call him a Viking, but here he goes. Did the lift. Number 5 got it. That was O'Connor. Connor gets the ball out, gets it to the scrum half. Voss passing the ball out, moving the ball just a few meters forward.
The Alliance again making a nice stand as HARC is just trying to get their backs away from the try line.
Wow, look at that open field run.
And now they got some numbers.
The defense from Alliance is coming in there.
And nowhere to go there for Sonny Sika.
Wow, I got to tell you something. Sika had an outstanding run, but the Alliance defense was able to shut him down.
Count him out.
Just close him off. But he almost broke through there.
And it looks like that Alliance side starting to get some tired legs as they're not as quick to the line, but still making the tackle.
Looks like that's Tony Jean in for HARC. 22. See the temper is starting to flare up a little bit, both sides.
Yeah, both teams have been
They've been battling out here.
been pushing on each other for quite a while. It's hot, humid, even with that slight breeze. It's much hotter on the pitch with no shade, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Paul almost got there. And you know, I think if Paul would have gotten there, he would have run it all the way in. But instead, the ball goes to touch.
He's had his chances today.
Yeah, he
They
has.
have opened up some running room, but it's all about making the right reads on those cuts. And last time he cut into traffic. If that wasn't the case, he might have had to try earlier.
Okay, we have a stoppage in time.
Yeah, about
Official
midway
time off.
through this second half of play.
We are about 23 minutes into the second half. So we're about halfway through. Looks like a water break here, which is about right, the 20-minute water break. So
Yeah, it's been a rather seasonably warm day. About 10 degrees hotter today than it was yesterday.
oh, absolutely, you could feel it on even right now at this time. Here we are, 6:30. We're feeling the heat. Of course, the guys on the pitch are feeling the heat, and they're feeling it in more ways than one. But I have to tell you, you know, it's nice to see how HARC has come back and really improved their state of play in the second half. Basically, it's been HARC's game this second half.
Yeah, it really has been different. I mean, if HARC could have played this way in the first half of play, maybe this game is rather tied than them sitting at a 10-point deficit. But for as good as their defense has been, they still have many questions remaining on how to get this ball advanced forward, because the Lions defense has done a really nice job of pushing HARC back every time they're looking for some positive momentum.
Well, I tell you what, just like you noticed earlier, Ting had a great run. He was about to break through, but then Alliance just came in, surrounded him, closed him off just a little bit. You know, and seeing Alliance wearing the white with a little bit of black kind of reminded me of a Game of Thrones type battle situation, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing against Alliance. Hey, love you guys.
And it's Alliance with the lead. And so it looks like we're getting ready to restart play here. And the Alliance trainer has been very busy this afternoon.
Unfortunately so. She really has been very busy. But again, it's great having her around. So here we go. About to see the throwing at the line out.
Oh, yeah, you're watching the coaches, right?
And I'm like, what? Like,
Way to go, Casey!
Alvarez gets the ball in.
And Casey Cook able to pull it back down. But he loses it.
Get him, get him, get him!
Ooh, great run here for HARC. Some of the new fresh guys that just came on the pitch. just
Oh,
to get to the halfway
absolutely.
line.
Yeah, bringing the fresh guys in. That's the way to do it. Well, 24 there. That was Ryan Hirsch. He was passing the ball back in. He made a little advancement, a little bit of progress there.
Oh, it's intercepted.
Go, go, go!
Intercepted there by number 12. He's trying to stay up, getting some support. Lum gets the ball out. 19.
Go!
Oh,
Another crunching hit.
Come on, Casey! get
was
it!
that hit
Hold it!
early, though, and apparently not according to the ref.
And two players. Again, this is something that has been an issue for Alliance players today. Two already out with injury at the end of the first half. Trainer sprinting on again.
Well, hold on. I'm taking a look at what the referee McClure has to say here. Unfortunately, we can't hear what he says, but we did see a hit that looked as if it came just a tad bit early by HARC, but it would have been a penalty and not a scrum, so we must have a knock on.
Stay here, Claire. It won't be long.
So the fans chit-chatting with the Alliance trainer.
Well,
After
she's-
making the run, she player said that he was okay.
Well, it appears as if the Alliance trainer has gotten more running time this game than before. With a few injuries going on out there today.
Yeah,
She
somewhat true,
agrees.
somewhat
She
true.
agrees. Ah, look at that run. Look at the offload. Oh, unfortunately, wait, caught back. Knock on them. Yep, it was knocked on by Alliance. But man, what runs.
And you can see another player still down. He says he's okay, though. He's slow to get up. That's the 19. That's Michael Hamilton.
Well, you know, again, these guys from Alliance, also from HARC, these guys are warriors on the pitch. So, you know, they're going to stay in. Again, I can't help but laugh when I say this. It reminds me of it's just a flesh wound. You know, only lost a finger here.
Yeah, I played with
Shoulder
some-
pulled out of place. It's okay. I'll get it fixed later. I'll work it back in a moment.
Oh man, I played with some crazy guys, but I'll never forget seeing that finger get dislocated in the middle of the game. He's like, "I'm okay, coach." He just sat there and just popped it back in place himself, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Give me duct tape.
No, he was fine the rest of the game. Didn't even notice that he had a problem. My friends from Uruguay.
Oh, now, you know what? Watching Uruguay play against the Sabercats was absolutely amazing. They were so quick on the ball, so fast, so tough,
Yeah,
and
you
they
know-
are improving as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people know about, the Pumas in
Oh, yeah.
Argentina, but I mean, Uruguay.
Uruguay's right up there with them.
Yeah, they have a great rugby lineage as well.
Oh, the ball's thrown a little short there. Goes to touch, unfortunately.
Back 10, Alliance. Back 10.
Yeah, Ting was, he wasn't happy with that.
No,
No, he was ready to get that ball and just spread it down there, man. He was ready to just take off running.
I mean, I know we haven't had a whole lot of scores to talk about here in this second half, but I mean, the game is still close. I mean, everything's within striking distance. All they need is if you are HARC, all you need is a try, the conversion, and then a penalty kick would tie up this game.
Absolutely. And so anyway, HARC kicks to touch. They're going to have the throw in at the line out.
Well, I'm not going to promise that. I'm going to say we will work on it. That's the one he learned all this fighting from.
Yes.
So it looks like we have
Some tired legs out there.
Big
that's for
Reed.
sure.
Yeah, no, this is number 24, Ryan Hirsch.
The They work this ball. They fling it outside.
Oh, going back to the inside to Paul.
And Paul's
That
got
play
speed.
worked out.
He's got pace. Paul with the cut. Rips through one, rips through the second, and he's hit from behind. Offloads it perfectly, though, does Paul. And HARC, maybe they might answer what we have been talking about. We said they needed to score.
Right to Ladoff. That was a good offload that he had right there.
Now everybody kind of reconvening around the ball, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, just trying to pick and go right there from the ruck. Placing the ball is placed, still within the ruck. 22, that's Gene, who got the ball and ran.
HARC still trying to find some room. This time trying to take it to the far side.
Reeves goes weak side there.
The help coming late.
Rutherford's getting the ball.
And he was fortunate
He's
not
going
to
to
have
save
a knock.
it. He called a penalty. McClure called a penalty. Coming around, Paul just takes the ball.
And Paul will score.
And Paul scores right under the post. And I got to tell you something, that's exactly what HARC needs. So now it brings the score at 22-17.
And we had just talked about it right before the turnover. They needed a score, so they needed to try a conversion. And that second phase of their plan to make the comeback is currently in motion. But give a lot of credit, though, to Paul, as D. Paul. I mean, he put this team on his back here.
Well, I got to tell you, Paul, yeah, because he's the one who picked up afterwards. I mean, we saw several guys. I got to commend Rutherford. You know, he just came back in, overpowered, got the ball back to his guys. You know, it was really a full team effort from everybody right from the start when they got the ball to finish. So everybody worked real well here, who had the ball, who played in the ruck, and then it just allowed for Paul to be in the right position, get it to Paul. He sprinted it on in. Man, Roadrunner.
Yeah, well played by Paul. I mean, he ate up with so many meters on the first touch, and then eventually it ended up back in his hands where he got to score the try. This is a big kick, though. Positioning's good. Lots of time being taken. Win, also a bit of an issue. It's good.
It's good. And so Fontenot gets the conversion. You know, that brings the score now 22-19.
Exactly.
Alliance is barely ahead.
Exactly. And if HARC some way able to manage another try, they'll easily take the lead. But now they can rest a little easier knowing that, hey, if we can just win a penalty within HARC's territory, or excuse me, Alliance's territory, we have a chance to tie it up.
Well, I tell you what, we have about 10 minutes left in this match. Both teams now just need to be playing their fiercest, going nonstop. I mean, now it's time to make this as the make or break in the battle. Right now, this has been HARC's half. Alliance has to bring it back to their side. They need something to go their way. HARC needs to stop it or get something to go their way. So let's see what happens here.
It's always easier said to done. Tired legs.
Hamilton
long play.
kicks.
Maybe a little sunshine affecting the game too here.
Trying to maul the ball, get the ball back, ball's down. And the ruck is down, or the maul is down to the ruck.
Oh, good sidestep.
Ooh, lost the ball, advantage. 22 has the ball now for Alliance. And another knock on. And so what happens is we had a knock red, we have a knock. Advantage was over for Alliance. So that knock on is going to count. It's going to be HARC's ball. And here we are going. We're about 8 minutes from the end of the match. Right now, 22-19.
So close. And give a lot of credit to HARC. They've been battling this entire time, able to work their way back into this game. Can they put the finishing touches to at least get the tie? Send this game into a little extra time.
All right, so McClure is blowing it up right now. He wants to have a word, just make sure everybody's binding well, binding safely.
You hear the teammates on the sideline trying to be encouraging here.
Yeah, HARC won that one, but I got to tell you, Lum was right on him. Okay, a little bounce. Oh, looks like, oh, yeah, HARC has the overload, but he's cutting in on the inside. What a great run.
Oh, it was a great run. Terrific. And smart, knowing that he needed to get the ball presented as well. And Paul, we've seen his speed.
That was LaDuff on the run right there. There it is. There's a little back and forth. Paul's on the outside there. Paul gets the ball in. Ball's still live. McDonald throws the ball in. Gaudette gets the ball in. HARC has that ruck.
Good fend, another good fend. So it's a terrific running there by Rutherford.
Knock on right there.
Got Mike.
He's asking the referee, but sir, I knocked it down. McClure is saying, no, I'm sorry, you knocked it. You knocked it, buddy. It bounced a little bit in front of you.
All it takes is just that slight bobble forward.
All right, so here we go. Looks like there's a change here. Number 1, Gonzalez is going out, being replaced. By number 16. This is Jeffrey Burns. Jeffrey Burns is the head coach of the Memorial High School rugby team, high school team. He is also a very young man at only 53 years of age.
Very young indeed.
You know, and I also have to add, he does dye his beard. So.
And this is a terrific run for Michael Hamilton. And Hamilton will score. So that should put this game out of reach.
Hamilton scored the try. And I have to apologize to Burns. It's only because you told me about the dyeing of the beard. But aside from that, yep, it's true. Hamilton scored the try. That brings it now 27-19. And going back, Jeff Burns being the head coach of the Memorial High School team, a single school team, playing here for HARC. Again, it's a part of the big mission for HARC, which is to really develop the inner city or the inside from the suburb city, so we don't want to just say inner city, but the schools all the way from grade school to middle school up to high school. And so it's guys like Burns who's really behind such an effort. So I want to commend him on that. He just came in playing prop, and he's been playing rugby, I think, for only 78 years. So at 53 years of age.
Seems like my math might be off a little bit.
Give or take a few years.
It's that long division.
It's that long division. It's the new math.
Or since I'm calling it rugby, should I call it maths?
Absolutely.
It's like, are you good at the maths? So he scored the try.
Just a bit outside. Wow. All right, so here we are now. It's 27-19. And we are about 36 minutes into the second half. So we're down at the 76 minute.
Haven't had too many stoppages in this half of play. So this clock's just kind of humming around nicely.
Well, I tell you what, that was the first break for Alliance this half. I mean, this half up until just right now has really belonged to HARC.
You're talking about Burns. We get an up-close look from him. He's right here on the sideline. He goes off of Alliance, and this is going to be HARC's ball.
It sure is, and I tell you what, it was nice to see Burns all excited about that. Because now he's ready to get in there and play.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Uh-oh. We have something else here. We don't have a knock on. We missed something. The referee called something.
Well, it's a scrum.
Oh, wait a second. It's a knock on. That's right. It was the knock on first. It was the knock on first by Alliance. And so that's what we have. The knock on by Alliance first is leading to us having the put in for HARC.
And trying to find some safety here as we have one player on the turf.
Well, that was Vega. He was getting up off the ground. So again, for safety, trying to get the distance just right before calling into scrum. Crouch, bind, set.
And the referee almost getting in the way there.
Right, the referee does not want to get in the way.
Oh, that's a
Number
great
24
breakaway,
there.
though.
And the beast, the dinosaur, the monster Hirsch. He answers Alliance's call with another try.
And just when I said that Alliance had put this game out of reach, Hart comes right back and says, now we have anything to say about it. But again, another injury issue for the Alliance. This is the third one of the day, and the training staff out there to take a deep look here as we get ready for this HARC conversion.
Tell you what, right now it's a 3-point game, 27-24.
It's a big kick here.
This conversion is the big difference. And this is where I was going back to earlier, where every kick, every point counts. And so if the 3 previous conversions could have been made, that could also have made a difference. But here we go. Let's see what happens.
And again off.
All right, that brings it, instead of a 1-point game, to a 3-point game, which means HARC has to score a try. We are down right now to the 79th minute. Of course, just because we run into the 80th minute does not mean that the game ends. The official time is with the referee, McClure. But we're at it right now. In fact, we just now hit the 80th minute of the match, so we got to have the kickoff. So here we go.
Yeah, we have to have the kickoff. HARC is going to have to play some excellent rugby, stay away from the touch lines, and more importantly, play smart. Can't afford to have any mistakes.
And you know, the one thing is, I don't think many players from either Alliance or from HARC know how much time is actually left. Maybe a few. Maybe someone's asked. I'm sure the captain's asked.
And because we have no scoreboard here, I'm also wondering if they know how tight this game is. That there is only a 3-point difference right now because, I mean, Alliance did score a bunch of tries in advance before the second half.
Right,
so.
Right. Well, here we go. So,
well, not just yet. The player that was down, he had that knee taped back up, but he's being helped off the pitch for Alliance. So
that's it. Yeah, we have official time off now. So there he is.
Yeah. That is the third player that is going to be taken out of this contest for Alliance due to injury.
Joshua Chu is walking off, number 20. Wow, yeah,
That's the
third injury.
Second Joshua to go down out of the 4 they have on their team.
Wow.
I talked about the 3 because they were all together on the front row, but Joshua plays with the backs.
Man, I tell you what, 2
Actually,
Joshuas
there's 5
down.
Joshuas on their team. I didn't even realize that.
All right, look at that. And Alliance answers with a bulldozing tackle. Several of the guys coming in. HARC holding on to the ball. Now they're battling full on. Look at this. Burns was crashing through on that last ruck. Maybe about a meter at most gained on that one.
HARC's trying to find the upset. Can they pull this off? As they were coming down from behind.
Fontenot got the ball, and he passed it inside, and they only gained centimeters, maybe half a meter there. Get it out to the Viking out there. He gained a few more meters. Hey, and guess what? He also got a penalty coming in from the side in the ruck. And he just says, I'm going to run it.
Yeah, quick take.
I actually thought the Viking was going to just run it himself instead of passing it off. Wow. Hold on, no, we have a penalty. Not the end of the game. The Alliance guys heard the whistle. They thought that was the match.
And now, that would be it.
That's the end of the match.
What a game.
Wow, look at this. 27-24 for the most part. This was HARC's half. But really what it came down to is that Alliance had the first half, and then they got fortunate and they went ahead and had another score here this half. And but you know, what an unbelievable fight by HARC to get back into the game. I mean, they were down 22-0 in the first half, and so to bring it up here 27-24, that's just a battle.
Yeah, and it goes to say that every facet of the game is important. If some of those conversion kicks go in for HARC, we might be looking at a different winner here, but the trophy is going to be going with Alliance too.
Absolutely. And you know, again, it goes back to the importance of making every kick, making every conversion and penalty and so forth. So anyway, that ends it.
Yeah, 2 days of rugby coverage.
Not bad.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. 5 games today, about 4 yesterday. Plenty of action for everybody. Everybody got to see a little different styles. Had a lot of fun.
We really did have a lot of fun. You know, and I want to thank everybody on the TRU channel here on YouTube. And also I want to thank you for working, because being able to come up here and work and announce and just be a part of my favorite game, which is rugby football, there's nothing better than this in my book.
I appreciate that, Larry, and it was a pleasure working along with you. And again, a shout out to our production crew here from Nutmeg Sports Media for taking care of bringing this TRU RRRC Championships live, especially with the change of venues, everybody working well together. So it was a really great success, all things considered.
And you know, on that, I want to go out and give a big heads up and a big thank you to Wendy Young, who was able to help make sure that the big change of venue was able to work so smoothly, communicating with everybody and just making sure that all of this could function well. Despite the big storms that came through here in Dallas, this has been great.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people put a lot of time and effort and sacrifice a lot of their free time to make these type of events happen. So hats off to them, hats off to the production crew again. And Larry, a pleasure working with you. I know we do have a trophy presentation to get to, so if you would just take us off.
Hey, well, thank you very much, and everybody, have a wonderful afternoon.